After I survived 2 suicide attempts, I didn't know what kind of treatment I should look for. Part of me wanted to just not talk about it, just get me out of this hospital. Now, years later, I'm dedicated to helping others find options that will help them recover so that they can have a full life. For me, one step was finding the right treatment. There's a new option that can help you take that first step, called ASSIP.
ASSIP stands for Attempted Suicide Short Intervention Program. This is a person-centered treatment specially designed for people who attempted suicide.
Early research is very promising. In one study, people who had participated in ASSIP had 80% fewer suicide attempts than those who didn't. We need to know more, but these results were impressive for such a brief therapy.
The second S in ASSIP stands for short, and it is. You can complete this treatment in just 3 sessions.
In the first session, you share your story and capture it in video form.
In session 1, we meet together and have a videotaped narrative interview of the story behind your suicidal crisis.
Something like, behind every suicide attempt there's a story, please tell me your story. And I just try to sit back and listen and let someone tell their story as completely as they can, and be there with them.
The second session allows you to see your story from a different perspective.
The second session is devoted entirely to watching the video playback. So we sit down in front of the screen and I introduce it by just asking them if they've had any thoughts or feelings come up since the first session, or any thoughts about what went on, and then invite them to watch the video, and we stop at different points to look at where there might be more questions, where there's important themes that are coming up, really looking specifically at suicidality and what led them to the suicide attempt.
I mean, in my opinion, that is very powerful. Being able to see what my story is.
In the third and final session, you develop a custom plan with your therapist.
I've listened to their story in the first session, reviewed it with them in the second session, so now I try to, in a first-person voice, bring together the different factors that led to their suicide attempt and then being in that state of mind. Then we review that together for them to, offer any feedback, corrections, thoughts.
And then finally we bring everything together and put it into a safety plan that includes some of the warning signs to be on the lookout for suicidal crisis in the future, as well as strategies to help both in the long term and in the immediate address those concerns, and also a list of people to contact for help in the future.
There's a lot of nervousness about starting the therapy, and that is understandable. Who wants to be videotaped? I'm nervous about being videotaped myself, but that videotaping process is likely the greatest strength of ASSIP.
That's ASSIP. Just 3 sessions. Share your story, see your story, develop a plan together.
ASSIP is not the only option for hope after a suicide attempt, and researchers are still learning about how it works. But I can tell you this. I wish ASSIP had been around when I was first recovering. Whether you receive ASSIP or not, I want you to know that I made it, and so have many others. And you can too.
It's your story, and you make the change.
If you're interested in knowing what the next steps are for ASSIP or want more information, talk with your treatment team or the person who shared this video with you.